Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're diving into something really important that you won't want to miss. If you enjoy thoughtful content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow us on whichever social media platform you're watching. Your support means everything. Now let's get into today's topic.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something we all handle, or maybe handle less often now, physical cash.
That's right. We're drawing from an article called The Future of Cash. Are we becoming a cashless society?
And our mission, really, is to get a handle on the main trends the article highlights. What's driving this potential shift away from cash, and what should we be thinking about?
Yeah, it's more than just about, having change for the parking meter. The article frames it as a pretty fundamental shift in how our economy might work.
Okay, so let's dive in. The article acknowledges, look, cash is still definitely out there. People use it.
Sure, it hasn't vanished. But the trend, especially in, say, developed economies, is down. Its prevalence is shrinking.
We've all gotten pretty used to just tapping a card or our phones, haven't we?
Oh, absolutely. And the article really leans into that convenience factor. It's a major driver. Paying digitally is just, well, often easier, faster, almost frictionless sometimes.
Exactly. And think about online shopping. The whole e-commerce boom, you can't use cash for that.
You really can't. That's a huge chunk of transactions right there. Plus, the tech behind digital payments is constantly evolving, getting faster, more sophisticated.
Things like encryption, making it seem more secure, perhaps.
So that's part of it, yeah. The article touches on those advancements, so the momentum seems to be heading in one direction, at least on the surface.
So given that direction, what are some of the potential upsides the article points to if we did move further away from physical cash?
Well, thinking bigger picture, the article mentions potential cost savings. Managing physical money, printing it, moving it around securely, storing it, that all costs quite a bit.
Right, that makes sense. It's a whole infrastructure.
A big one. And then there's the transparency angle. Digital payments create a record, a trail. And the article suggests this increased transparency could potentially make things like tax evasion or illegal transactions a bit harder.
Interesting. Sort of harder to keep things off the books, maybe?
That seems to be the implication, yes. And linked to that is just overall efficiency in the payment system itself, potentially speeding things up.
Okay, so convenience, maybe cost savings for the system, more transparency. It sounds quite positive. But I assume the article doesn't just leave it there. There must be concerns.
Oh, definitely. And they're significant. A really critical one is exclusion. What about people who don't have bank accounts or reliable access to digital tech?
The unbanked or underbanked population.
Exactly. They often rely heavily on cash. A cashless system could potentially leave them behind, which the article stresses is a major issue.
That's a huge consideration. Access isn't universal.
Not at all. And then there's privacy. Every time you pay digitally, you leave a data point. The article raises those concerns. Who sees that data? How is it used? Could it be used for surveillance?
Yeah, that idea of every single purchase being tracked. That gives people pause, understandably.
It does. And related to data is security. If everything's digital, the risk of cybercrime, hacking, large-scale fraud, that becomes a much more centralized target, doesn't it?
A bigger potential payoff for criminals, perhaps.
Potentially, yes. And one more group the article mentions, small businesses. They might face higher fees for processing digital payments compared to cash.
Right. Those transaction fees can add up, especially for businesses with tight margins.
Precisely. So it impacts their bottom line.
So it's really not this simple, inevitable march to zero cash, then. The article suggests it's more complicated.
Very much so. The future part isn't painted as like, next year, no more cash. It's more about different possible scenarios, different timelines.
And probably different tastes in different countries or communities.
Absolutely. It won't be uniform. The article emphasizes it's complex, with lots of different factors and viewpoints in play.
It really sounds like a balancing act. The convenience we all feel versus these pretty serious societal implications.
That's a good way to put it. It's multifaceted. Individuals worry about privacy, businesses about costs, governments about regulation and inclusion. Everyone has a stake.
Okay, so summing this up, the article charts this path where cash might be playing less of a starring role, thanks mainly to digital convenience and efficiency.
Right. But it flags these really crucial warnings about making sure people aren't excluded, about protecting privacy, and about guarding against new kinds of crime.
It's not a straightforward win-win. There are definite trade-offs to consider.
Definitely. The takeaway isn't that cashless is definitely happening or definitely good or bad, but that the shift is complex and needs careful thought.
Which leads us perfectly to a final thought for you, our listeners. When you weigh that tap-and-go ease against these bigger questions of fairness, privacy, and security, what does a cashless society actually look like or feel like to you? Something to mull over. Thanks for joining our deep dive today.
Thank you for watching this video. I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoyed our thoughtful content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on whichever social media platform you're watching. Your support means everything. Now see you soon in our upcoming video. Stay tuned and stay blessed.